Alright, today we're going to take a look at an Ironhide and Ratchet. What? Hey guys, welcome back to Transformers G1 for Life, where I talk about G1 toys and related cartoon continuity. Don't forget to subscribe. Now, of course, the first time I saw the Ironhide and Ratchet toys wasn't 10 seconds ago, it was actually like over 30 years ago, but I had the same reaction. And keep in mind that the animated movie came out when I was like 5 years old, so I didn't really get a lot of exposure to the toys and what they were supposed to look like. All I knew was what I had. I had Wheeljack, he looked like Wheeljack. I had Cliffjumper, he looked like Cliffjumper. So that is what I expected. So I had a neighbor who was a little older, and he had a ton of the Transformer toys. I was super excited to see the toys of the characters I'd never seen before. This was before the internet. So unless you had the figure, or you spend a lot of time at toy stores, or your parents didn't throw away the catalog brochures that came with the toys without you knowing it, you really weren't getting exposed to what they were supposed to look like. So I was shocked and in disbelief that this could be the toy for such iconic characters. Please share in the comments the first time you found out that this was Ironhide and Ratchet and what your reaction was. I was disappointed. How could this be Ironhide and Ratchet? So sure, scale for a lot of the toys was all over the place and they came from multiple toy lines and united under the Transformers branding, but most of the toys, from what I remember, resembled their characters on the cartoon. And after all, it was the toys that inspired the characters for the G1 cartoon. But I can't think of a single figure other than these two toys that had such a big change going from the toy to the cartoon. If you can think of others, then let me know in the comments. So the Ironhide and Ratchet toys came from the Diaclone toy line, a line of toys that were designed to be controlled by humans. And you see here that there's no head, but what there is a chair for a human to sit in. And it's the same thing on the battle station part. That is a chair right there that a human would sit in and control. And what they did was they just slapped on a sticker of a face, a robot face on there, and voila, Transformer Ironhide. So rather than a mech, that sticker makes it a robot. But this makes me wonder why they went this route when creating the characters for the cartoon, when two human characters who helped the Autobots in almost every episode existed. You had Spike and Sparkplug. So imagine if these characters instead became exosuits for Spike and Sparkplug. So instead of Spike trying to lift and shoot a heavy gun,
Ravage, bad kitty.
he would have had his own exosuit to fight the Decepticons. I think that would have been pretty cool. And they did eventually put Spike's brain into a cobbled together robot.
Yeah, man. I'm getting to like this powerful robot body of mine.
So the idea of integrating humans and robots did exist to some degree. And then in the later seasons and the movie, obviously, there were exosuits for the human character. While that's fun to think about, I don't think anybody would have wanted it to be any other way, because as a result of these toys and some imagination, we got the iconic characters Ironhide and Ratchet. They're both the exact same figure, like the way that they transform and the way they look, with the exception of a paint job and some details, like Ratchet has those lights at the top. But other than that, they are the exact same character. Their vehicle mode is a van, and when you transform them, they are a two-part toy. So this back section here comes off, and that's what becomes this battle station. And it has these treads, because I guess it was supposed to be able to move when being controlled by the human. It has this missile launcher. I don't have the missile, but this still feels very springy, so I assume that works. And they were also supposed to have a laser cannon that fastened into here. I don't have that part either. But this is the battle platform, and on the G1 cartoon, you've seen that a handful of times. And the robot portion is supposed to be able to fit in here. So he just kind of slides in, and it's just friction that keeps him in place. So now, there's tons of upgrades that you can get for these guys to make them look better or look more like their cartoon counterparts. I actually got a little upgrade myself. It was very inexpensive. It was only $9. I got it on eBay. It's like the best purchase I could have made, and that was heads. Now, these were the heads that I got. So this one is Ratchet, so it's folded down, and the head just hinges up like that, just comes up. There we go. So that looks pretty cool. And then this is the Ironhide head, so same thing. And that looks like Ironhide there. They just slide over the chair. So here's the chair, and then you see that it has this slot here. So you just slide it on like that. Okay, and there it has the head. And right off the bat, it doesn't look so great because the way the arms are, but you kind of just do an alt mode transformation where the fist parts on the regular toy, you have those up and then they get angled in. Like that, kind of. This one's a little stiff. Yeah, but you just kind of keep it like that, so those top parts end up sort of being more like shoulders than anything else. And I like the way that looks. I think it looks more like Ironhide than the way that it did before. And let's do the same thing with Ratchet. So again, it just slips over the top like this. And then the arms, you just have to rotate them up and kind of push them in to be like that. Put them side by side. So obviously not perfect looking, but close enough. And I like that it really just maintains the G1 charm, and all we did was add the heads. So I like those a lot. Let me know if you did any upgrade to your Ironhide and Ratchet. I think this was a very simple upgrade to really give them that pop for display. And the only thing that would be better is that if this could be contained somewhere within the toy when transforming. So you can't really leave that in there. So if I were to transform him back, I'll show you what that looks like. So there's that part. We have that head sticking up. And then we'll transform this back so the launcher goes down. The band parts go up. Front goes in. That goes down. Fold those in. So, see, right? Obviously that can't go on now. And the way that the head folds down is it folds that way. So you can put it like that just to kind of keep it on all the time. But then in vehicle mode, it really looks like garbage. So you wouldn't want that, obviously, if you were displaying it in vehicle mode. So you would have to take it off. And that's just simply sliding it up. And then this would fit in. So while I do love that upgrade, I think it would have been really awesome if they could have figured out a way for it to still exist when it was in vehicle mode, to really make it a part of the actual Transformer transformation, because you can't even really shove it in the back because of all the other parts there. But I don't really mind that too much. Anyway, again, leave me a comment, like the video, let me know what you think, and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Transform and roll out.